Enzo Fernández thought the scandal was over. He apologized. Chelsea tried to move on. His teammates eventually accepted him back into the dressing room. The video disappeared from the headlines, and Argentina continued celebrating. But now, a black teenager has pulled on the Argentina shirt for one of the country's national teams, after a gap widely described as 44 years. And suddenly, Enzo Fernández's worst nightmare returns to haunt him all over again. Because 2 years earlier, Enzo helped broadcast a chant mocking black French players, as if their African heritage made them less French. Now, a Haiti-born black player is representing Argentina. His name is Steven Kiki Ramos, and his appearance in the Albiceleste has dragged Enzo's ugliest moment back into the spotlight. The controversy began after Argentina defeated Colombia in the 2024 Copa America final. The players were celebrating on the team bus. Music was playing. Medals were hanging around their necks. Then a chant started. It was not about Colombia, it was about France. More specifically, it targeted French players with African family backgrounds. The song suggested they played for France while their parents came from African countries. Its message was brutally simple. Their passports might say French, but their ancestry supposedly said otherwise. And Enzo Fernández was not merely standing somewhere in the background. He joined in. He held the phone. He filmed the celebration. Then he broadcast it from his own Instagram account. That decision changed everything. Without Enzo's camera, the chant might have remained inside the bus. Still offensive, still racist, but hidden from the rest of the world. Enzo turned it into global evidence. The French Football Federation called the chant racist and discriminatory and announced a complaint to FIFA. FIFA opened an investigation. Chelsea began an internal disciplinary procedure. Wesley Fofana, Enzo's own Chelsea teammate and a France international, described the video as uninhibited racism. And the worst part for Enzo was that nobody had secretly recorded him. He recorded himself. He chose the angle. He chose the moment. He chose to press live. This was not an old video uncovered by an enemy. It was not a private message leaked by somebody else. Enzo placed it in front of millions of people with his own hand. But the chant itself did not begin after the Copa America. It was a throwback to the 2022 World Cup. Argentina had just beaten France in one of the greatest finals ever played. Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick, but Lionel Messi and Argentina eventually won on penalties. The victory ended 36 years of waiting and turned the squad into national heroes. But the celebrations also produced an ugly soundtrack. Some Argentine supporters used the African ancestry of French players as a weapon. The chant mocked the idea that black players could genuinely be French. It reduced national identity to parents, blood, and skin color. Then, almost 2 years later, Argentina beat Colombia in a completely different competition, and the same attack on France returned. That matters. France had nothing to do with the Copa America final. It was not even part of the tournament. Argentina was celebrating victory over Colombia, yet the players reached back to a racist chant aimed at the country they had defeated at the World Cup. The rivalry had survived, so had the song, and Enzo helped revive it. He later apologized, saying the chant contained highly offensive language and that there was no excuse for those words. He insisted the video did not reflect his beliefs or character. Chelsea treated the apology as an opportunity for education, while Fofana later said he did not believe Enzo himself was a racist. That distinction matters. A racist act does not automatically tell us everything about a person for the rest of his life. People can make serious mistakes. They can apologize. They can learn. But an apology does not delete the act, and it does not erase what the chant was saying. The message was that French players with African roots were somehow fake, that they could wear the shirt, sing the anthem, and represent the country, yet still not truly belong. Now Argentina is facing the same question from the opposite direction. Before we continue, subscribe to the World Cup Whistleblower for the stories football celebrates in public and hopes you forget in private. Steven Kiki Ramos was born in Haiti in 2009. He survived the devastating 2010 earthquake as a baby, was later adopted by an Argentine family, and grew up in Buenos Aires. He developed through Vélez Sarsfield and earned a place with Argentina's under-17 side. In 2026, he made his debut and became the first Haiti-born player known to represent Argentina at that level. His story should be inspiring on its own, but Argentina's racial history makes the moment impossible to separate from controversy. Ramos has been widely described as the first clearly black player to represent an Argentine national team since Hector "Chocolate" Bailey, whose senior international career ended in 1982. Bailey won 13 caps, belonged to Argentina's 1978 World Cup winning squad, and also traveled to the 1982 tournament. After that, the image of Argentina's national teams remained overwhelmingly white for more than 4 decades. There is no official AFA register classifying players by race. Ramos represents a youth side, while Bailey represented the senior team. The 44-year comparison is therefore not a formal federation record, but visually and symbolically, the contrast is extraordinary. A black player is now wearing Argentina's colors, and he was born in Haiti. That is where Enzo's old chant comes crashing back. Because if Kiki Ramos can be born in Haiti, raised in Argentina, and legitimately represent the Albiceleste, then African heritage cannot make somebody less French. If Kiki's Argentine identity is real, then so is Kylian Mbappe's French identity. If Ramos can belong because Argentina became his home, then players born and raised in France do not become outsiders because their parents or grandparents came from Africa. The logic cannot work in only one direction. Argentina cannot celebrate a Haiti-born black player as proof of inclusion while pretending that the chant against France was harmless football humor. And Enzo cannot escape that contradiction simply because he apologized. There is no evidence that Enzo has said anything negative about Ramos. This is not an accusation that he opposes Kiki's selection. The point is far more uncomfortable. Kiki's shirt exposes the idea behind the song Enzo broadcast. In that chant, blackness was used to question belonging. Now blackness is standing inside Argentina's own national system, and the country has a choice. It can treat Ramos as a remarkable exception, celebrate him for a few days, and avoid asking why his presence feels so historic. Or it can confront what the moment reveals. Why did more than 4 decades pass without a clearly black national team representative? Why was a chant questioning black French identity so easy to sing? Why did Enzo feel comfortable enough to film it? And why did he believe the world would celebrate with him? The strongest defense of Enzo is that he was caught in the emotion of victory. Players were singing together. He followed the group and failed to consider the meaning. But that defense creates another problem. If racist words can become normal inside a celebration, then the issue is bigger than one player. Enzo became the face of the scandal because it was his live stream. But the voices around him belonged to a wider group. He did not sing alone. That makes Ramos even more important. He is not responsible for repairing Argentina's racial image. He is a 17-year-old footballer, not a political symbol created to clean up somebody else's scandal. But symbols are created by moments, whether the player asks for them or not. Every time Ramos wears the shirt, He proves that Argentine identity is not a skin color. Every time that happens, the old chant sounds worse. And every time Enzo stands beneath the same flag, the question returns. Did he truly understand what he apologized for? Did he understand that the song did not merely insult France? It told black players that national belonging could be taken away from them because of their ancestry. Now Argentina has selected a black player whose own life crosses borders, bloodlines, and identities. Ramos may become a star. He may never reach the senior side. His career could rise or disappear, like thousands of talented teenagers before him. But he has already done something Enzo could never have expected. He has turned that 2024 video into a mirror. A mirror for Argentina. A mirror for its football culture. And most of all, a mirror for the man who held the phone. Enzo Fernández thought the chant was behind him. Then Ramos pulled on Argentina's shirt. And suddenly, Enzo Fernández's worst nightmare returned to haunt him all over again.